Welcome to 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, where we take random movies from Metacritic's 15K Plus movies to randomly watch, whether we like it or not. Hello and welcome to episode 17 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews. This is Colin.
And this is Niall.
And this is random movie number 9247. It's a movie called Concussion from 2013. It's got a meta score of 56 and a user score of 6. It's got a runtime of 96 minutes, and for some reason it has a box office total of $78,957 US. Don't know why.
It does not feature Will Smith. It's very important to point out.
Right, yeah. I forgot that it was even a movie when we pulled out this name last week, but then when I started Googling Concussion for background stuff, his American football medical drama came up. So
which might have been an interesting one to get as well, but unfortunately not the case.
No. So directed by Stacey Passon. Hasn't really done a lot. I don't know if you found anything about her.
She directed one episode of an interesting Marvel TV show called The Punisher, which was quite good. Aside from that, everything else she did, I've never heard of.
Yeah. It premiered at Sundance Film Festival, which is quite prestigious, and strangely enough, the Weinstein fella backed it. I wonder why.
I'm not going to comment on that.
No.
I can guess as to why he enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think it won a Teddy Award at the Berlin Film Festival for LGBT themes. And other than that, not much of a background to it. Have you any background nuggets of information about
it? The only piece of information that most listeners may not be aware of is this is the only movie that I have fallen asleep during while trying to watch.
There was a certain point I was going to go, all right, so I can just skip forward a bit here, because it's like, I was going through it and I was thinking, this is like reading somebody's diary of just nothing.
Yeah.
There's just nothing.
There's a whole patches of bleh.
Yeah.
Not much happens. She's describing, the movie's describing standard life and how boring it can be at times, and I guess it's a midlife crisis she's experiencing.
Pretty much.
It's not interesting.
No,
to me anyway. I don't know.
No, it's in a nutshell. Yeah, it's a over 40s lesbian woman
which we both know about.
Yeah, just because life gets a bit, depressing after 40 doesn't mean that it makes for a good movie.
True. And we've all been there. We've all turned to prostitution after we hit the 40s.
Yeah, flipping apartments.
Yeah, that's a euphemism now, is it?
Abby, played by Robin Weigert.
Mm-hmm.
She's above 40, and she's going through a midlife crisis, basically. Like, there's an intro to the movie is pretty much just women voiceover saying some just things about what you need to take care of when you're over 40. It's either your butt or your face.
Face or ass, yeah.
And then it goes into a running theme that goes throughout the movie of her exercising and doing yoga and, fighting off the inner demons through exercise, pretty much, I would guess. She's a bored housewife, pretty much, and she's it actually goes straight from exercise and yoga into a quite dramatic scene of her face covered in blood after getting hit by her son with a ball.
Baseball in the face.
That's gotta hurt.
Possibly the only interesting bit in the movie, and they don't show it.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, oh, bloody hell, that went from sedate intro David Bowie song, "Oh You Pretty Things," to massive amount of blood, and her like going, "You little," to her son.
That was a nice touch. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously the wife. Then I think the wife was Kate, was it? Is that her name? I think so.
I have her written down as wife because she's such a nun character.
She's so
Played by
boring.
Julie Fane Lawrence.
Yeah, that's
who's
it.
been in absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I wonder why. So yeah,
absolutely two-dimensional characters, kind of just there because she has to be.
Well, to be honest with you, yeah, she did a job well then, because it's supposed to be a boring character and absolutely doing nothing to the marriage or whatever.
I think in my eyes, there's a danger in trying to, project a really boring situation and making sure that the people watching know it's boring. The problem with that is a lot of people are going to be bored. It's effective.
Yeah, it's such a it's a dodgy premise that you have to really have a massively powerful script to actually make it work.
Yeah.
You
have to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this does, but yeah.
To be honest with you, so this is another bug of mine from the movie. Like, she gets concussed. The name of the movie is Concussion. There's nothing about concussion through the entire movie.
Yeah, other than it's possibly a trigger to her midlife crisis. But it doesn't even go into that.
No.
It just happens.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just an event that happens at the start of the movie. It doesn't say that this is the trigger, or she doesn't say that this is the trigger. Yeah. It just flows on from there.
Yeah, exactly.
And doesn't really address it ever again.
You could call it something else. You could call the entire thing midlife crisis or whatever, and just get it over with. You don't have to have concussion as the main factor of the movie. In fact, it's a terrible.
Unlike the Will Smith movie, where it actually is the main part of the movie, this is sod all to do with concussion.
Yeah, it's quite weird and bizarre that it based it entirely on getting hit in the face with a baseball. The first 30 minutes or so, it's pretty much just, I want to go back to work, and it's pretty much she likes to flip apartments. She finds crap apartments and gets them renovated with her buddy Justin. I'm guessing that's his name. I can't remember.
Who seems to do 90% of the work.
Yeah, she just looks at the catalog and go, yeah, that color and that tile, and away you go.
Off you go, minion. Fix it up.
Yeah. And so, it goes back and forth between the family life being stale and the sun being annoying and her snapping at the sun and her getting on the treadmill and increasing the pace, and then she vomits up everywhere after it.
Yeah, overdoes it, drops to the floor and vomits all over. Ruins a perfectly good treadmill. What are you thinking?
Yeah. And then just, out of the blue, she just calls a call girl and meets up with the call girl.
Yeah, she doesn't start off with the high standards. No. The first lady of the night she visits, or the only lady of the night she visits, I should say, sorry. Off her face looks like she's doing meth or something. Not a great thing. It's not sexy.
Crystal meth. Be honest. Speed.
Nice.
Yeah, nice one there.
Going back to the previous
episode, the sisters. So then Justin and Robin are. So she just admits to what she did to Justin because Justin's her buddy. Whatever. That doesn't really do much. It cuts to.
Yeah, he says well, if you're gonna do it, don't F it up.
Yeah. Then it shows then some scenes of the kids being annoying in a music shop playing the drums.
Yeah.
Just ramps up the noise.
She's chit-chatting to the wife about their friends who are going through a divorce or something like that. And she's describing why her friend is divorcing the husband or cheating on the husband or something. And she's just... The wife's always like, that's, daft, don't be at it, sort of stuff. And she's like, well, she just needs to breed.
Yeah.
Which I think is used later on in the movie as an explanation, but we'll talk about that then. But it's just, I suppose, the only slightly interesting plot device where they have a bit of symmetry.
Yeah, I guess it comes across as just a boring, mundane family dinner, and just we're supposed to feel bored with them.
And we do. Well done, director.
So then this character of Gretchen arrives, and that's sort of her little intro
Yeah, so
into.
$800.
Yeah, that's obviously worth.
That's a lot of money.
I don't know the going rate for call girls, but
Neither do I, but damn, $800 seems like an awful lot.
she didn't seem to be too unhappy with the price. But yeah, so she went from Med Addict to the other top end of the scale.
I feel it's more expensive.
Yeah, then after that, and it has this running theme of her life in doing all these out of marriage affair thingies, going back to mundane life.
I think Justin talks to her after
after
the
this.
dalliance with Gretchen.
Yeah, there's a bit of a dinner party
Gretchen
before that.
Said, yeah. Oh, sorry, yes.
Nothing really happens in it, though. It just doesn't.
No, I wrote down dinner party, and
Yes,
that's about it. It's just, there's nothing to say about it.
No.
There's friends turn up. They're all supremely two-dimensional. There's nothing about them that's interesting. I think one of the girls is from her gym class or something.
Yeah, she pops in and out during the bloody entire movie.
Yeah,
so
she's she's there for some exposition. That's about the height of it.
Yeah, Justin decides to pimp his Abby, basically.
Yeah.
He just said they're mending a fence outside.
For the older ladies.
Yeah, she was like, yeah. And so they decide to turn their flipped apartment into a hookah home, basically, for turning tricks is the term.
The maison derrière.
So I think this is around the 30-minute mark, flying through this, and for some reason her first customer is like a child and a teenager and doing her homework.
Doing her homework with one of those pens with the multicolor selector on the top.
Yeah, we've all had one of those.
Yeah, I still do. But for good reason, she goes, maybe a little bit too young.
Yeah, but then the second is not much older.
But she's at least a student in university. So this one is actually a reasonably positive relationship that she builds with the second. I don't know what. It's not a John. It's usually a bloke. What's the female John?
I don't know. Call girl. No, she's just...
No, John's the client.
Oh, yeah, right. A Jane?
The first Jane, or second Jane, yeah. So she's a student, and she's very insecure. She's never been kissed. Oh, actually, one point to drop in there is that she's a bit different in how she takes her clients, in that she insists on meeting them for coffee first, which is weird.
Yeah.
But she gets to chat to them and talk to them first.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of a nice thing, where this girl is very insecure. She's never been kissed. Blah 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 blah. So
yeah, that happens.
Almost like a motherly relationship. I actually think in this one she's providing a good service.
That's weird.
Sorry, yeah, but it seems like a positive thing. Some of the other Janes, especially number 5, not so great.
Yeah, number 5. It's not a Beatles song or a Simpsons song.
Fisty and punchy and stuff.
Yeah. Shortly after that she has a couple of encounters. Then she meets the girl in brackets, who's this like sweet blonde young student who basically is a pimp.
Going through law school or something.
Law school, yeah. And Abby wants some older clientele, so she gets the next Jane she turns in is this similarly aged woman, probably mid-40s maybe, and they have this sort of battle back and forth, and I don't know, all these scenes are just kind of boring. And then it goes straight into a boring mom talk where they're talking about sanitizer or something outside in the garden, and it's just like, this just never stops.
It's filler, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's filler. And then, it's just like a montage then happens of her meeting up with clients and her going to the doctor and spending time with family, and just this constant theme throughout the movie of just this duality of the lives she's leading.
Yeah.
She meets Sam at this point.
Sam, which is a bit awkward in that she knows Sam. She's seen Sam in the gym. She knows her name. She kind of fancies her by all accounts. And apparently it's two ways. So, but unfortunately, this is very connected to her family. They're both in the same school. They're both in the PTA. Yeah, it's kind of, she's starting to take risks at this point.
Yeah, she has this sort of animated conversation outside with Justin before going in and saying, I know this woman, like, what the hell? And then she goes in, which is weird. Yeah. And then they have this kind
that's just stupid.
Yeah, they kind of have this sort of, tiptoeing conversation around what they're there for, like initiating.
I'm a prostitute, right?
No, they sort of
the euphemism with picking out tiles or some such nonsense.
Interior decoration. So she was going. Sam was saying, "Yeah, I was thinking whether I should do Pilates today or meet up with Eleanor." So she met up with Eleanor, which is Abby's pimp or prostitute name, basically. If we forgot to mention that. Again, another montage, jogging, taking her vitamins as we all do over 40,
This is true. It's just like living our lives again. Just the boring bits of it on a really boring movie.
Yeah, she has a encounter with Sam in the brothel home that she has created, and Sam says, "Yeah, what are you doing with those tiles over the sink?"
And Abby, and then Justin pops in afterwards, and she's up on the counter ripping the tiles off the wall.
Yeah. So,
what?
Yeah,
I don't get that bit, but okay.
Well, yeah, it's just
missing something.
It's just another choice in the script that really just doesn't give me any sort of, enticement to continue watching it without trying to skip different scenes. The older woman comes back in. She has another scene with them, and she asks, "Have you got children?" She goes, "No," and then she says, "Well, your scar says otherwise on your stomach." So then she walks away.
She's a bit affected by that conversation because the older woman says she misses her husband because they haven't been, I don't know, intimate or something. She kind of feels the same way, obviously, about her own wife. But again,
Exactly. Yeah, so then we're around an hour mark here, and we've only got 30 minutes to go, and you're sort of counting the minutes basically. She's talking with her wife about the tooth fairy. It's just a terribly boring conversation, and you just realize, yeah, they're different people now. Yeah, we get it. Yeah, they're totally different. That's fine. Then there's a scene where she's talking about her clients, and she doesn't want number 5 coming back, and it shows a montage of number 5
getting slapped around the place by number 5. Yeah.
Then
I can understand not wanting that client.
No, it looked a bit WWE.
But at this point, Justin gives her an out. Like, he says, "Listen, do you want out of this? Because it doesn't feel like you. This and this sort of pressure. Maybe you don't want to be doing this anymore." But she's like, "No, I need more clients."
Yeah, and I think Justin actually doesn't give her clients anymore, so she meets with the girl.
Yeah, and they bypass Justin, and more clients, yay!
Yay! At this point, Kate is like going, "Listen, I've got a friend who wants to buy a place." So,
yeah,
that's a bit, she doesn't want to, obviously, because that's her whorehouse.
Yeah, that's where she's making the money.
Yeah, that's the first client she got, the young student. She gave her a bunch of books, and at this point, she's like going. It shows a scene with that first client again, and she's like going, "I think this is going to be my last time coming to you." And those books were really good. The only thing that came into my mind, the only thing that came into my mind was bring the bloody books back then.
Yeah, even get.
Yeah.
In fairness, $800. I'd keep the books.
You think she's 800?
Well, she was charging $800 to the older lady.
Oh,
remember the lady decided she was going to walk out because she was too scared, and she was going to give $400 for the time.
Right. Yeah. Good memory. Then comes in. It's just randomness. She's in this drive-through and she orders a number 4 with cheese, and it just shows her eating this number 4 with cheese.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't need to see somebody eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Meh.
She meets Sam in the grocery store with her hubby, and it's just...
Yeah, she intentionally goes down the aisle where Sam and the husband are being quite lovey-dovey. So she does it intentionally, just, I don't know, for kicks.
Yeah, she makes it overly awkward by on purpose.
Yeah.
Again, goes back to normal family life in between all this random, chaotic altar life, and shows their daughter doing the Dominican Republic speech in a play.
Meh.
1492.
1492. Again, even that bit is... the kids in it are, again, there's no substance to anybody but the main couple of characters, and they're unlikable.
Yeah. I just have something here. Why do I have written down film cover - Kate pops by? What the hell is that?
You're drunk.
Film cover. I can't remember.
I have no idea what that means.
We're getting near the end of the movie here.
You're delirious at this point.
No. This is when I don't know why I wrote film cover, but she's in her whorehouse with a client. The client leaves, and Kate drops by, and that's what. There's Kate drops by, and Abby is naked on the bed, and that's the actual picture they use on the film cover of the movie poster.
Okay, yes, gotcha.
So yeah,
okay, well that would make sense.
Yeah, so that's why I wrote that. I knew it made sense. So basically, that's the sort of the apex of the plot line. It should be the most dramatic thing, but it's not. They just sit down and
they have a conversation.
Pretty much Abby just says, "I'll do whatever you want," and Kate just walks out. And that's the sort of that's the pinnacle of the plot line, and sort of fizzles by. So then it just cuts to we're kind of petering out the line here. She's talking on the phone about interior decorating, which I don't know who, and it's just the most boring conversation ever. It shouldn't be in a movie. She has a conversation with Sam outside because Sam's walking a dog and Kate has driven away without saying goodbye or whatever. That conversation doesn't mean anything to me.
The conversation basically winds up being, we've got a secret. We should just keep it between ourselves. Okay? Okay. Bye.
Bye. I'm going to go and walk my dog some more.
That is the weakest dialogue ever. It's just, who cares?
It's
in there to tie up some loose ends, but nobody really cares about these loose ends, to be honest.
No, we never see Sam again. Wife comes home. Conclusion: the wife basically just says, "I don't want anyone," and they just get on with
life. And then
life.
Leave it at that.
Yeah,
and then she experiences no ramifications for some substantial cheating.
Yeah. It's pretty much just...
But the wife doesn't seem to care that much.
The wife is just apathetic. She's, life is over after 40, so you don't really give a shit anymore. So it's like...
Yeah. Well, that's true, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the sweet embrace of oblivion.
Yeah. So she sells her apartment, and family life goes on. There's a montage of family life going on.
To the gym.
They're basically parenting at this point, I'm guessing, and just getting on with life. And she goes back to the gym, and the end scene is her being asked, "Oh, what are you going to do?" And she goes, "I might take hot yoga class after," which is a reference to what Sam said she does. So it's kind of inclination towards that.
She's going to continue cheating potentially.
Yeah, I think she's
going to continue with the job.
Yeah, I think she's going to follow up with Sam.
I write the question mark when I wrote this down, but then I also wrote down, "Who cares?"
Yeah, I think. If I want to think about the movie, I think that Abby will probably, she won't do the whole pimp herself out, I think, but she'll definitely meet up with Sam, I think, and do some hot yoga classes.
Again,
yeah. So, all right, this might be more than you're giving, but I'm giving the plot 1 out of 5. I just, it's terrible, but it exists.
Let's see. Oh, I got a 0.1 because it irritated the living crap out of me.
Yeah. What do you think of the audio sound brackets track?
I was very sort of, it was very promising to start. You've got Bowie, Oh You Pretty Things was going, yes,
Yeah.
like where this is going. And then
nothing.
No.
Yeah, nothing. Just
nothing.
Actually, at
So
the start,
I dropped a 1 on that.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Yeah.
It just
yeah,
fizzled out.
0.5 for me. But it started off, the piano intro sounded a bit like Sesame Street intro if you listen to it again. Don't know why.
I think I might have skipped past the piano intro.
It's
just.
I was wondering what the last song was. I was trying to figure out, because I think they just spent a bit of money on David Bowie, and then the last song is by Brian Eno, and it's called "Some of Them Are Old." I had to look it up on Spotify and just played it. It's like, oh yeah, that's it. So I was just wondering.
Yeah.
I kind of sandwiched the movie.
Find it. So you had decent music at the beginning and the end, and everything else was rubbish.
Yeah, it was
non-existent.
Non-existent. There's a bit of techno stuff in low audio in the background at some point. I don't know why, but that's the way it goes. Acting was okay. It was probably the best bit of the movie. Nothing to write home about.
I think they did a good job. It's just, when you've got poor source material, it doesn't matter if you do a good job. It's going to be this. I thought Abby herself was actually quite good. Acted quite well.
There's
Justin
Sons of
was actually
Anarchy.
an interesting character.
It's a Sons of Anarchy background there. Both Robin Weigert and Maggie Siffer in Sons of Anarchy. I was wondering where the girl, I'd seen her before, Emily Kinney. Do you know where you might have seen her before?
Oh, number 2?
No, the girl, the pimp.
Oh, no, I didn't recognize her face.
Walking Dead. Beth from The Walking Dead. She was the farmer's daughter, right?
Yeah. She was really young in that.
Yeah.
I suppose she was about the same age, actually. When was The Walking Dead?
Well, this is 2013. I think Walking Dead was around that time. Yeah, she might have been around, actually, that in the seasons.
Okay.
Anyway, I soon stopped watching The Walking Dead around that time, probably.
I didn't recognize her, so as much I don't care about the character in Walking Dead.
I actually thought a couple of times that Robin Weigert, who played Abby, was the actress from Fringe. And she totally reminded me of that actress, but it wasn't. I just
no.
Production, I really don't. I don't know really. It looks good. The sets were fine. There was no real. The fake blood was good.
I give it a 1.5 because there's a couple of things in it that there's a bit of symmetry here and there, and some of the shots are interesting, but
yeah. Oh,
it's because it's a lot of it's mundane. So what are you going to show?
Yeah. Acting, I gave 2.5 just because that's pretty good.
I give it 2.
Yeah.
I might have given it more, but the main characters are well done, but the supporting cast have nothing to work with. So, because there's a lot of 2D cardboard cutout people that mean nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, production. I don't have anything of note to say about it. It was just like it's like the rest of the movie. It was just like a piece of cardboard and soggy piece of cardboard. Bland.
Functional.
Yeah, they're like the movie equivalent of Grey, probably.
Oh no, Grey's too exciting. Beige,
yeah, the beige Macintosh coat. Let's see what the reviews say. So at the bottom, Mick LaSalle at the San Francisco Chronicle gave it 25 out of 100. He's quite on the same plot as us here. It's a tepid, quiet, and uneventful film, directed almost in slow motion, with no narrative propulsion and with a succession of very similar scenes. The actors speak softly and pause a lot, and in the background is the steady hum of the soundtrack. I agree.
That's about right.
Yeah. Slant R. Kurt Ozenlund gave it 88 out of 100.
Whoa.
He says, the near imperceptible finesse of Abby's characterization reflects writer-director Stacey Passan's effortless, interesting mix of richness and economy.
Twaddle.
Twaddle, I say. All right, let's try to forget about...
Already gone.
Concussion.
Whatever that was.
Yeah, let's act like we have a concussion and forget about it.
Well, when I fell asleep and whacked my head off the table, I might have got concussion.
All right, let's see what the next number brings. And the number is 1397, so that should be better. 1397. Oh, okay. All right, 1397 is a movie rated 81 out of 100, released in 2017, and it's Truman.
Oh, get away. I haven't seen that.
I don't know if it's actually the one about the president. It's not, actually.
Oh. 2017?
It's actually... What we are tending to get here a lot is a foreign movie. Yeah. So here's the plot. Diagnosed with terminal cancer. What the?
Get off.
Julian has decided to forgo treatment and spend his final days tying up loose ends. When childhood friend Thomas pays his ailing friend an unexpected visit, he quickly realizes he won't be able to change his mind. In what will be their final reunion, the two friends set out to finalize Julian's funeral arrangements, settle his accounts, and most importantly, find a home for his beloved dog. Now, dogs make me quite emotional in movies, so this better not get going.
Yeah, like John Wick's when they killed the dog, I was like, yeah, he killed them all.
It's got a Metacritic must-see award, so...
It's 99 on Tomato Meter, so it must be really good.
Yeah, I
it's
think
it's super depressing, though.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, it's got a dog.
I don't mind if it's depressing as long as it's good.
Yeah, it's got a dog on the poster too, so you know that the dog plays a major part.
What's the language? Sorry,
I think it's Spanish. Language is English and Spanish. It's only 108 minutes as well, so that's not too bad.
Nice.
Well, it's a drama / comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
A dark comedy. I like that.
Yeah, that should be good. Okay. We look forward to Truman after we have been concussed by Concussion. So that's it for episode 17 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews. Leave a review or a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts if you have the time, and we'll see you on episode 18. Bye-bye.
Cheerio.